Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gift of Gaming podcast. This week we're discussing all of the new video game announcements that came through the form of showcases. What's up, everybody? It's me, your host, Darren Wade, and today I am joined by the console-hating, PC-playing, lore-seeking, full-time Canadian himself, Chris Robbins. Chris, welcome back. How you feeling?
Feeling all right, man. A little relaxed right now.
Nice.
A little on the tired side.
You were sick the last time.
I was,
Are you
yeah. I
better?
got taken out by COVID last weekend or the weekend before, I think. Yeah.
Man, it's still out there. Still getting
Yeah,
us.
crazy. And this was, I've had it twice confirmed. I might have had it another time. It might have been a cold. I just went through a period where I didn't test. I just stayed in. But this time, like, it devastated me. Like, I slept 16 hours the one day because I just had all the aches and the headache and all that. Then I thought it was just cold. A couple days later, I go to brew some coffee, and I was like, oh, this is a bit watery.
Oh, no.
That's weird. I must not have brewed it long enough. And then I go to eat some porridge, and I was just like, this is watery too? Oh, no.
Shit,
So, yeah, I had no taste. So
It's my biggest fear when it came to COVID was losing my sense of smell or taste. I can't imagine it.
It's a weird sensation, man.
And I think, like, part of me wonders, could I get the most of it and be like, now's the time to eat all that broccoli I hate because
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
taste it.
Well,
you know?
that's what I was thinking. I was like, this is kind of beneficial because I was like, I actually like porridge, but I mean, if you're eating something
It's a bit of a slog
just for
sometimes.
the sake of it being healthy, a lot of the time that food is just gross.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you get away with it a lot easier.
The silver linings, Chris, it's important to find them.
Yeah,
you know?
I still not worth it though.
Avoid it if you can, for sure. Well, did you get much time for playing games?
Tons of time.
Nice. What are we playing?
I got a few things on the go, actually. I've recently started playing Cookie Clicker. Have you ever played Cookie Clicker?
The name sounds familiar, but I
It
can't
used
think
to
of
be
it.
an old browser game that would like persist in the background, and like you'd click on this big cookie,
Yeah.
and you get cookies per second, and then you can like buy grandmas to bake more cookies and factories to bake more cookies, and it just goes and goes and goes. And
So has it grown past being a behind the scenes browser game?
Oh yeah. Like, you buy upgrades where it'll still count and idle and get you cookies while you're logged off. Like, it's running at home. Like, when I log back in, I'll have like, I don't know, 700,000 step to decadillion cookies. Like,
Oh my
the numbers
God.
are fucking whack.
Yeah.
Man. What numbers I've never heard of before.
So is there a goal, or is it just keep collecting them cookies?
My goal is to get there's 637 achievements, and I'm a bit of an achievement whore, so I'm going for them all.
There are 637 achievements in a cookie collecting game.
Yeah, but one of them is you have to have 365 of these sugar lumps, and it takes 1 day to grow. So
You have to pay
a
for a year
just to get that achievement.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Mental. Anything else?
Uh,
Or was that your entire
so
was that your entire goal?
It's taken a bit too long, much of my time, despite what it is. But I'm also, me and my buddy got back into Multiverses since it's back out.
Nice,
It's out of beta
yeah.
now.
I watched the new release for it, and I was hedging my bets. Will I? Won't I? Any good?
It's worse than beta, unfortunately.
Oh, that is disappointing.
Yeah, because they made a switch to Unreal Engine, so a lot of the game, like, it kind of feels a bit more sluggish than it used to. And then like the menus, I don't know, they just backslid a lot. They're not as good. The other big issue is the egregious amount of like monetization in the game.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like, I know it's still a free game, and they gave you, just for playing beta, they gave you a free battle pass that included Jason Voorhees as the first tier. So
Nice.
I was like, oh, that's cool. They're doing nice things.
Yeah.
And they gave out another free event character. I was like, okay, they're doing some things well. And then like a few days in, I was just like, oh no, you have to pay money or actual money to unlock a lot of this. And
Not for me.
Yeah.
When I saw the release, I was looking at a couple of streamers play through the game, and a lot of them had complained. And they weren't saying it was the worst thing in the world, but they were saying that it felt slower. It felt a bit
slower. Yeah.
Not as competitive. That's a pity. As you saw when you came in today, I have restarted my Kingdom Hearts playthrough at long last. It's paused on the TV behind us there. Me and Luke got into when we were doing the last news episode. I got into some Kingdom Hearts 4 leaks, and I am down that rabbit hole big time. I'm like finally juicing up for Kingdom Hearts 4. Any information at all is welcome.
There was I listened to the last episode. You guys talked about Kingdom Hearts 4 leaks? I don't remember that.
Oh, that was a post show. Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to listen to me and Luke talk about Kingdom Hearts 4 leaks, go to our patreon.com/gaming.
I don't subscribe to that.
I'd be worried about you if you did. So yeah, no, that was the post show. We were talking about Kingdom Hearts leaks, and I got really excited because that was we knew these showcases that we're going to talk about today were coming up, and I kind of thought, wow, could we get anything about Kingdom Hearts 4, because it's been 2 years since they did the reveal trailer, and the reveal trailer was like, it didn't really allude to anything.
Wasn't it like Sora in like a real world or something?
Yeah. And it's, it had me a bit worried, but the leaks were stating that the game looks a lot different to what was given in the reveal trailer, which I'm actually excited about because I wasn't a big fan of what they were doing with the realism of it. I was like, no, I prefer the more kind of fantasy style Sora as opposed to a realistic Sora. I don't want it to go down that path. So I was delighted when I heard that they pulled back on that. But yeah, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts. I've started Kingdom Hearts 1. I'm at the end of it. I've got I can go back to Hollow Bastion and finish the game, or I can go to the other planets and do the extra bits and pieces. But I'm playing it on critical. It's been really enjoyable. But I made a terrible mistake. Started the game, it gives you a couple of options to be like, hey, do you want to pick the sword, shield, or magic staff, and answer these questions with your islander friends, and that whatever answers you give is the order in which you receive certain abilities as you level up. And one of the most important abilities in that game is Second Wind, or Second Chance, which means that when you get hit, no matter what HP you're on, you'll be brought down to 1 HP as opposed to getting knocked out and game over. All my answers, unfortunately, were the ones that put Second Wind really, I have to be a really high level to actually get Second Wind or Second Chance, whatever it's called. So I still haven't unlocked it. So I get wrecked in most of the boss battles as I'm playing through the game because it's so hard. I could be on like 60% health, but the bosses have moves that will just knock that, and I've got nothing to no buffer at the minute.
Playing the truly critical.
Oh man, I was like, why is this? Surely I should have this. And I looked at the list, and I think it's like, I don't know if it's up in the level 50s or level 60s before I actually get that ability, and I'm level 40 something at the minute. So I'm like, fucking hell, because I'm at the end of the game and I still haven't gotten that ability. And every other time I played through it, now I think the answers to getting that ability early are like the obvious ones, like the nice answers. But I was playing through this time. I was like, I'm playing the final mix. I'll be a bit wacky. So I've been an idiot the entire time because I've made it as hard as I possibly can for myself, but not by choice, just by me being a bit weird with the games. But Chris, it brings us to why we're here for this episode. I was hoping for Kingdom Hearts information on our showcases that were up over the weekend. So since our last episode of the podcast, we've had a state of play from PlayStation. We've had Summer Games Fest kick off. We've had an Xbox showcase. And today, which is Monday when we're recording the episode, there is a Ubisoft Forward. Myself and Chris won't have watched that by the time we're recording this. But there's been loads of stuff out there. So we were saying, Chris, we might go through the episode and talk about what was announced and give it a pause so we can watch any kind of trailers to refresh our memory, because there was so much out there, and then pop back on to record and talk about it. Yeah,
the state of play is definitely a bit rusty for me at this point. I didn't watch all of Summer Games Fest, but I mean the Xbox one was I watched through a lot of those trailers multiple times, and
so the Xbox showcase was just put out there. I watched the state of play. I thought it was okay. I watched the Summer Games Fest, and I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but it didn't do a whole lot for me. And then I was kind of like, I guess this year isn't a big year for games. And then I watched the Xbox showcase. I was 10 out of 10. I was like, holy moly. Even like the pacing of that showcase, it was just banger after banger. It was nonstop, really interesting trailers. And I kind of thought, holy.
Yeah, well, some of those things, I think, some of the dates are a bit hopeful. And I think they're also
or non-existent.
Like, yeah, I think they're like fudging things a bit because they fucked up so bad recently. So
there's a lot of games that are still saying 2024 but no date. I'm like, there's only 6 months left of this year. You surely should know if you're saying 2024 when it's coming out. But so what I might do is I'll go through each showcase. So we'll start off with the state of play. I'll run through what was announced on that showcase, and I've highlighted a few things that I wanted to talk about myself from each of the showcases. And if there's anything you yourself either want to watch, Chris, or if we want to go and refresh our memory in terms of the trailers or anything like that, we can stop and go ahead and do that. But in no particular order in which it appeared on the state of play, we have Astrobot, Concord, God of War Ragnarok was announced for PC, Monster Hunter Wilds, Dynasty Warriors Origins, Infinity Nikki, Ballad of Antara, Behemoth, Alien Rogue Incursion, Marvel Rivals, Where Winds Meet, the remaster of Until Dawn, Path of Exile 2, and Silent Hill 2 Remake. Any of those things.
See, a lot of those like we already knew about, like Path of Exile 2. I don't even know why it's in a state of play.
It's a weird one, yeah.
Yeah,
it was a weak state of play, in that I enjoyed. I highlighted 3 things from this because it was our kind of first look at Monster Hunter Wilds, I think. It had Dynasty Warriors Origins, which I was super excited about. And what was funny about that was because we did the most underrated games episode before the news one, and Dynasty was 4 in there, and I had no idea that this was on its way. So yeah, really excited about that. And then Astrobot.
Astrobot looked like a banger. Actually, I think that was the most exciting game on this list because it was something we hadn't heard of, and it has like old school like platformer vibes. Kind of looks like Jack and Daxter almost.
Yeah, and did you play there? So when you got the PlayStation 5, there was an Astrobot's Playroom game that was.
It was like a side scroller, wasn't it?
No, it was a platformer as well. 3D platformer, like I would say almost like a beta to what this Astrobot game is, like a shorter version of that. But I played through that and platinumed it, and I had a blast with that game. So much fun, and it's kind of been the only game since that on the DualSense controller. It gave you everything that DualSense can actually do, like the haptic feedback.
Oh yeah, wasn't it like stuff, almost like just a tutorial for using your PlayStation?
So in a way, and it was a small game in itself. Like it didn't take long for me. I think to platinum the game, maybe it took me 8 hours to like fully complete everything in that game in totality. But that Astrobot trailer, and like we'll go through the trailers that were in like the Xbox showcase and stuff like that. But all the trailers I've watched over the last like week and a half of game announcement, that trailer was amazing. Like that, it just went
like
up and up
the tunes
and up.
Too,
yeah. Like the Astrobot, its own little music piece. If you haven't seen the trailer for Astrobot, check it out. But I was talking to Craig. I put it up on the chat, and we were all having a chat about it. And Craig was saying that it's great. It looks like it could be PlayStation's answer to the likes of Mario Odyssey and all that. And it's got so many references to all the PlayStation stuff. Like you saw Kratos and Aloy. Nathan Drake was in there along with like Ico and the guy from Shadow of the Colossus. Like all those the old PlayStation mascots and big characters all seem to have like a little piece in there. And I loved it in the Playroom version. You came across little things in the maps. Like I came across the Buster Sword just stuck in a stone with a light shining down on it as well at one point. So it has all these kind of references to all the like the PlayStation exclusives, which was great. Any game on that list that I read out that was interesting to you, Chris, in that state of play?
I don't remember too well. I think the Behemoth one looked interesting. It wasn't it just like
the Behemoth is the VR game, I think.
But like Shadow of the Colossus type.
Yeah, I mean we can stop here and have a look at that trailer if you want, just to refresh your memory on it. But I think the Behemoth one and Alien Rogue Incursion were the two.
Alien Rogue Incursion looked pretty fucking scary too.
Yeah, and it's like, you know,
I don't know if I can handle that, man.
Did you didn't play Alien Isolation, did you?
I played it a bit, yeah.
Because me, Colin, and Kev, KP, hung out and played that, and that was.
I was disappointed you guys did that without me.
I think you were in.
I was in Canada.
Yeah, I think you were in Canada at the time. Yeah, that game scared the absolute shit out of me. But yeah, a VR version of that would just be absolutely terrifying. But
because then you'd feel so alone too. Like at least you had buddies on the couch. You can't be too scared in a group.
I couldn't play it. Yeah, I mean, we were laughing, but we were laughing through our fear. That was, and you can hear it in the. You know, I took a couple of sound bites. I recorded us playing it the whole time. Took a couple of sound bites and put it in the episode. But you can hear us like laughing off our pure fear. It's like ha ha ha! Oh, how scary was that? But we were all very scared. Like, you know, it was a pity because it had only those 2 VR games, and to me, PlayStation 2 VR has been a failure. And judging by the state of play, there's nothing in the pipeline for it. So I feel bad for Andrew, who kind of went in for the no, I mean, he's happy, he's got like the games that he loves for it, but it doesn't look
like
PlayStation
2 VR though. It's just like VR in general, I think, is struggling a bit more than they thought.
Yeah, people haven't really bought into it as
expensive as shit.
So expensive.
And it's not just like the price of the equipment, but you also have to have the space, and that's what's held me back, because I could afford a VR and I'd be interested in trying it. But one thing is the space, and the other thing is if I do spend that money and then I find out that I'm one of those people that just can't handle it and get super nauseous, which could very much...
Worth trying it out before you give it a... I mean, I think it's one of those things you can get used to. I played Rogue Squadron on it. I think I've talked about it before. That's kind of been my favorite. Dip my toes into VR and kind of like, I could see myself playing a lot of this. But the price point just isn't worth me buying VR just to play Star Wars, you know, to pretend to be in an A-Wing or whatever. just as I said before, Dynasty Warriors looked amazing. And what's great about that is it looks like it's called Dynasty Warriors Origins. It looks like you create a character and the story is kind of based around you. And I'm assuming you kind of choose your path into which army you want to go to, as opposed to selecting characters from the time period. I think you're creating your own character to go through it. It looked amazing though, like a return to how it used to be, because Dynasty Warriors 9 was an open world game that was shockingly awful. I hated it. And then Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8 were a bit like, they were kind of moving a bit further away from here's a relatively small map that you can run around, kill 1,000, NPCs in it, and it's just good fun. And this one looks like it's returned to it. The trailer looked so good as well.
Yeah, I played one Dynasty Warriors a lot. I can't remember which one it is though.
4, 5, and I think even 6 were probably, 4 and 5 were amazing. I think from 7 onwards, it kind of got a little bit poor.
What console was 7 onwards?
7, I would say, is PlayStation 3, and then 8 and 9 were PlayStation 4. I would say 8 Empires and 9 were all PlayStation 4. I think.
I don't think it was PlayStation 3. I think it was earlier than that.
Oh, yeah, you probably played the good ones then. 4 or 5, yeah, they were class. I mean, that was the one I loved. But that looked amazing as well. And the Monster Hunter Wilds, we finally got our Monster Hunter Wilds trailer.
Yeah, and I should have been excited. I wasn't though. I mean, I knew it was coming. I wanted to see some new banger drops. We knew this was coming. And then they also announced 2026 or something.
2025, yeah, but we don't know.
2025,
but no window, so it could be. We said it could be the end, but as Craig, me and him were having a chat there recently, and we kind of said, Monster Hunter World came out in March, and Monster Hunter Rise also came out in March, because I remember picking that up for Kev's birthday. His birthday was in March. So I think it's kind of, that's when Capcom likes to release its Monster Hunters based on the last 2 games, kind of early on in the year. So we might not be that far away, less than a year away from actually getting our hands on it, possibly, hopefully.
Well, it'll be years before, I buy those games when they're 80% off. I'm not paying full price.
You're gonna miss us all going off together hunting monsters, Chris.
Well, I'm gonna be on PC anyway, so
this Monster Hunter Wilds has been confirmed as cross-platform. Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, but still, I just, especially when the base Monster Hunter game comes out, I don't think it's worth the price point.
You wait until you get your DLC.
Yeah, because I've only played the 2 Monster Hunter World without Iceborne is absolute garbage. I think it's awful. It is so short, and they're just not. They did no mechanics. Rise, I liked Rise, but it was still way too short. And once you get to Nargacuga, that's your end game gear. There's no reason to use anything else but his gear. Then Sunbreak obviously changed things a bit, but still wasn't worth the price. So I'll wait until it goes on sale.
Or until
when
Wilds, whatever their DLC is. Yeah, that's fair. No, I love them. That's what I was kind of saying to the guys. I put up the trailer, and Kev he's over in New Zealand at the minute, was like, looking forward to playing this, and it will be one of those things that'll be great to start a Monster Hunter game from scratch again. It's been a couple of years since I was able to do that, and I love that when you start a new game and your inventory is empty. It's just pure. I'm not loading up an old file. I'm not it's just, okay, I got to go out and collect my rations from scratch and see the brand new monsters from scratch. I'm very excited about that. But
it's weird they dropped Palamutes though. I thought they were going to be a staple, but now it's some bird named an Eco or something.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I liked what they did with Rise was and we've had this conversation before, where I think there's the purists of us with Monster Hunter where we prefer the kind of grind, and there's the people who I think, and I don't blame them, I think Rise is a fantastic game, but that's more of an arcadey version of Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
it's quick in, quick out, and everything like that, which is I enjoyed. But I would definitely be of the Monster Hunter world, the grind kind of vibe, and it looks like they've gotten a little bit of the arcadey stuff to speed up of the play from Rise and put it into Wilds in what I think is a nice way. It's on OTT. It looks like it'll be the best of both worlds, which is kind of what I was hoping for. So I'm delighted. Other than that, Chris, the only other thing that came out that had me in any way interested in that trailer was the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I still don't. And I would say interested was I've been disappointed by what I've seen so far, and this other trailer didn't really do a whole lot for me for the Silent Hill 2 remake. It just doesn't look.
Yeah, but it's still a Silent Hill 2 remake, and we haven't even got a digital version of the original on an updated console.
It's true, actually. Yeah, there's no way to play it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And I've been wanting to play it again for years. So I don't care. I'll get it.
So State of Play was okay at best. I don't think it didn't do a whole lot for me.
Be honest, they didn't need to really try real hard with the amount that Microsoft have been fucking up.
They were like, yeah, we're going to cruise past all the layoffs and studio closures that Xbox has went into. But after the State of Play, we got Summer Games Fest. Look, I mean, I have the list here. It's fairly huge of what came out. Stop me at anything you want to talk about, Chris. And in no particular order, we got Lego Horizon Adventures, which
I thought of you the moment.
I'm really excited because it's funny. I've been hovering over. It's been on sale on the PlayStation Store for a long time. Like the Harry.
Out already?
No. I'm talking about other Lego games. Like the complete Skywalker saga and the Harry Potter collection have been on sale for the last while in the Lego games.
I've never played a Lego game, and I hear they're actually really good.
They're amazing. They're really funny, and the gameplay loop is actually quite satisfying. There's something very, very satisfying about doing a collectathon in a Lego game. Do you know what I mean? Like collecting all the bricks,
perfect,
all the chips. And when I saw this one and it's humorous and it's like a Lego game that looks like it's leveled up itself. Do you know what I mean? Like it looks like it's a bit more accessible. So that looked great. I would be keen on that as I love the Horizon series. Then we got No More Room in Hell 2. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. And Harry Potter Quidditch Champions looks awful. It looks...
Is that the VR one?
But it's not. I thought it was a VR game, but it's not a VR game.
That wasn't a VR game?
That wasn't a VR game. And when there was at one point where they're holding a bludger and it looks like they're getting ready to throw it at an opposition, and I was like, oh, it's a VR game. That's fun. But it didn't say VR at the end. It's available on all consoles, so it can't be VR.
So first person?
First person
sports game.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because Quidditch is one of those things. Craig is going to love this one because I often talk, myself, Kev, and Luke, back when we were kids, played the Quidditch World Cup game on the PlayStation 1. It was shit, but we really enjoyed it. But I remember it being shit. And Craig always said it's a game that you couldn't make a good game of Quidditch. And based on what they showed us at Summer Games Fest, I'm inclined to agree with Craig.
But the thing is, they don't have to try real hard with anything Harry Potter related.
No, the IP just sells.
Yeah.
Next, we got Cuff Bust. Did you see Cuff Bust?
Cuff Bust?
The teddy bear is breaking out of jail. All right, if you haven't seen this, we're going to take a moment to pause here and watch the trailer. Yeah, we're watching the trailer.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're back. We just watched the trailer for Cuff Bust and No Room in Hell 2, but Cuff Bust looks amazing. Chris,
Cuff Bust is definitely. I'm wish listing that on.
So it's a one-player game, and it's like an escape jail, kind of like Among Us.
Wait, that was a one-player game?
Sorry, it was made by a single person, but it's an Among Us style team up to get out of jail type thing, but you can stab each other in the back or fuck each other up while you're trying to escape. It looked amazing.
Yeah,
cute little bear characters. It seems to get a lot of humor in it.
You thought they looked like bear? I thought they looked like Stitch.
Oh yeah,
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Talk about that too.
His head on the keyboard.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That looked amazing. Neva. I don't know if you remember Neva. It was early enough on in the showcase. The kind of 2D one, very Princess Mononoke, I think, from Studio Ghibli. She grows up with like a deer type thing. 2D animation looks great. People have been raving about it so far, but it's one that I'd consider maybe checking out myself when it comes out. Not AAA. I think it's an indie studio doing that one. Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh yeah, but I mean, we've been hearing about this one for a while, and people don't seem to care really.
No, I mean, I thought it looked quite good. It was a good trailer for it actually. But then we got it was a leak just before the show apparently. But then we got the announcement for Civilization 7.
Yeah,
which is Chris.
I mean, I'm stoked for a new Civ, but the problem is, even when it releases, it's going to be years before it's better than Civ 6. Like
Civ 6 has everything at the
moment. Yeah, it has just like what, 10 years? How long has Civ 6 been out? 5?
Good question. I have
Anyways, it has that many years of content, new civilizations, so it'll take a while for Civ 7 to get to the state that Civ 6 is in. And it's also hard to imagine how they're going to improve Civ 6.
Yeah.
Because it's borderline perfect. Like, there's not really anything else I want out of it.
Yeah, I think for me, the only thing would be the maps for me got a little bit dull. I don't know if I'd like anything extra on the maps in the environment or something like that to traverse, because the start game was all about like your scouts and your warriors going out and checking out the thing, and I think that start of it is a bit.
Have to worry about trees or hills or mountains that you just can't pass.
Yeah. So stuff like that might be interesting, but yeah, it was very much we didn't see any gameplay. It was just
rivers would be cool.
Yeah, being able to traverse some stuff like that. So that looks great, but we don't know anything really about it apart from it's been announced, so that's good. Then we got Black Myth Wukong, Once Human.
Wukong, I swear to God, that's been
going around for years, man. Yeah. And I don't know if I can't remember if there was an official release date for that one, but we are still don't seem to be there for that one yet. I mean, it looks great character-wise and everything like that. I think it's based off an old, is it a Chinese storybook or something
Sun
like that?
Wukong,
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that character has influenced a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Like that character specifically is in a lot of video games.
So that looks like it could be cool. Once Human, Metaphor Re Fantasio, which I think is from the creators of Persona 5, and that just looks like a wild, like, it doesn't interest me, but like, you guys do you. It looks like it's quite flashy and visually looks quite interesting, but I don't think it's a game that would interest me at all. Then we got Batman Arkham Shadow, a Meta Quest VR Batman game. Which looks like at least production quality wise, looks amazing. As to whether or not it's a good VR game, I have absolutely no idea. I got a Street Fighter 6 update.
Yep. Yep.
Who did we get?
So M. Bison's coming out this summer.
Yeah.
Which, shocker. I mean, like, canonically, he's dead, but
hey,
he's like Haiichi. Like,
he's
going
just
to
throw him
be
in the
back.
game.
He's going to be back. And then we also have the first two crossover characters, which is Terry.
Yeah.
And Mai.
And Terry, I actually thought they were announcing a Fatal Fury game with the Terry thing, but it was just the Street Fighter. But then
I wouldn't be surprised if that's right around the corner.
Well, no, later on in the showcase they announced then Fatal Fury, City of Wolves.
Exactly,
but it was funny that the Fatal Fury game announcement didn't come before the Terry. And I thought that was quite interesting that they announced Terry and Street Fighter. You know.
Yeah. And then the fourth character is Elena, which is going to be tough. Historically, she's a pretty broken character, and she has like healing mechanics, which are just like
in a beat 'em up game. It's just not how you want things to go. But yeah, you mean you're excited at least for that as a Street Fighter player?
Time. Still playing Street Fighter. They just released Akuma though, so it seems crazy that they're releasing M. Bison so quickly.
There was no date though. So there wasn't for any of those characters, was there?
Based on season. So Akuma was just released, and M. Bison's slated for summer.
Nice. Which is we're technically here.
Yeah, so
that could be fun.
August maybe. 2 more battle passes, I would say.
And then we got Tears of Metal. That's Scottish. I don't know if you saw that one. Like a what would you say? Not an open world, a roguelike. They're calling it, I think, a roguelike game, but like Scottish characters. I think it's got some sort of old Scottish fight for independence themes going on there. It looked great, cool track, and it's like kind of that cell shading kind of graphics again. I'm not mad of, but I thought it looked really good. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yep.
Which you said you'd play. I have no interest in I've never liked Dragon Ball myself, but I was watching that trailer and
then you especially wouldn't want this one. Like if you're only looking at the Dragon Ball games for as far as
just
having a good fighting game is concerned, then Fighter Z or Fighters or whatever the fuck you want to call it is much better. It's more well balanced, a very few characters, and it's just the 2D fighter.
Yeah.
Whereas Sparking Zero is going to be like the old Budokai Tenkaichi games, which is pure fan service. It's going to have shotgun fire. It's going to be like have everyone.
It looked fucking mint. And the funny thing about it, Chris, was it was the first time as an adult I've ever thought, like, God, if I was to live at home and like, anybody walked in on me watching, because it was just such a wild trailer, like just so much screaming and shouting and people getting buffer and buffer and bigger explosions. I was like, this is kind of when people who don't know anime think of anime, this is what they think of, like, or manga. This is what they think of. After that, we got Delta Force Hawk Ops, which I think is a free to play kind of just a first person shooter team up task thing. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, which is cool. I haven't had a Fatal Fury game in years. And ever since Terry was introduced into Smash Brothers, I've always been curious about, because Sakurai, who created Smash Brothers, has always said he's a big Fatal Fury fan. And as a person who likes fighting games, I've never played it. So I'm like, oh, maybe this can be my first.
I played some of the Fatal Furies back in the day. I had a very big crush on the other character that's making it into the...
Mai, is it?
Mai, yeah.
Yeah. When you were like, hey, she's pretty hot. So I'm going to play Fatal Fury.
Well, I was just a kid too, and that's, I think it's when I started, becoming a man. I was like, oh, I like this character. I don't know why.
Yeah. Something's changed.
Yeah.
Then we got Battle Crush, which is kind of like I guess like a battle royale kind of game where the level falls apart as you're playing. It's kind of like a top down, but the level falls apart in sections. Looked interesting enough, but didn't grab me at all. Then they had a really cool Valorant showcase because it's being announced for console. And they kind of had a really cool, again, not something that interests me. And for the Summer Games Fest, I was like, is this too much maybe for a Games Fest? But I had a massive big showcase for it being on console, but with nothing new, just like a fucking 5 or 6 minute long trailer of the game, and then saying it's for console, which I was like, okay, fair enough. Then we got Skate, which is EA's kind of like open world or like a skaters, like hub skater game, which has apparently had like development issues and it's taken its time to get to where it is. And even when they showed it, I was like, that looks a little rough. Like, I don't know why you would have brought it here.
Skate was always, because like we've had have you played the Skate games in the past?
No. No, I was a Tony Hawk's guy.
Yeah, so Tony Hawk is like anime level skateboarding. Like that shit doesn't exist. Like you can't do those moves. You can't string together.
Not even Tony Hawk is capable of doing it.
Absolutely not. Whereas Skate was more about like you had to use the thumbsticks and flick them in the right direction in order to like actually do like a kickflip in real life.
Right.
Like you would flick.
So it's got a bit of realism
your foot
to it.
like or your toe to this edge of the board.
Right.
That's what you would do with the thumbstick, and it was very cool. It was very satisfying.
I love the idea in terms of it being like a hub style game where you can just hang out with your mates and just like sit around and watch other people do.
Yeah, I like the idea too, but I mean, I don't care about skate.
No.
I'm too old to give a shit about skateboarding these days.
Yeah, me too. I was always terrible. I borrowed my sister's skateboard.
That was awful.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer was the decal on the bottom of that skateboard, and I was awful. I went down to a skate park once and never again. The end of my career. Then we got New World, Eternum, Project Dosa, the Kunitsugani Path of the Goddess, Dark and Darker, Rogue Eclipse.
Oh man, yes, Dark and Darker is back on Steam, which is well, I got it immediately. Like
you were just like,
and then me and my buddies were playing over the weekend. It's so good. And they introduced the Druid, so I could just like transform into a bear whenever I want. Fuck up some people, and like if things get crazy, I could transform into a rat immediately.
And
just
like scurry out of there, like don't mind me.
Yeah.
That's I think what I like. Excuse me, about these showcases, and I think it's what the State of Play didn't really have enough of, was when you have the whole thing of like available after the show. Do you know what I mean? The shadow drops of stuff like are great.
Well, Dark and Dark has been out for ages, and it was on Steam initially, but then Nexon sued them for copyright infringement or something.
Right, for having it on Steam.
A lot of their developers left and made this game, and Nexon was like, "Oh, those are all our assets," and apparently Nexon was lying, and this company won that lawsuit, so good for them.
Yeah.
And then Steam finally allowed them to come back on the platform, because the moment like a company like Nexon is suing a game, Steam's like we don't want any part in this.
Yeah,
so they went separate, created their own launcher, and yeah, my buddy continued on to play. I didn't, but now I'm playing again since I can do it through Steam.
Nice. Yeah. After that, we got Alan Wake 2, the DLC, Night Springs, and the whole Alan Wake thing. I don't play the game, but I love the meme the memes that have come from that. Like they had a whole song in it where the guy who does a lot of the acting in it and the what do you call it, with the motion capture for it. Like he does a whole dance routine, and they played that song when he came out on stage, and he did a little bit of the dance by himself, which was all quite funny, because I think in the Game Awards the whole group came out and did the full dance routine. But he was quite funny. He took it in his stride. He came out and he says, that's the only way they let me out on stage these days is if I actually do a few moves. So he was quite funny, because sometimes with these shows, people who come on can be that real awkward. Like a lot of the people, developers and stuff coming out aren't public speakers, so some of it can be quite awkward. We got Battlesuit Aces, Sonic X Shadow Generations, which looks fun. Just like Shadow DLC essentially.
Shadow.
Mars First Logistics. Wander Step's interesting one. It's like a cozy tea making farm simulator, but it looks like it's got this other mysterious what's going on in the background type job, which seems to be what's happening with a lot of cozy games. Is like, here's your farming sim, but there's something mysterious going on, you know?
Yeah. And is this an actual farming sim, or is this one of the? Because there was a ton of slice of life games in this that I just like. I don't care about.
Yeah, no, I would say so. And like, I think the Summer Games Fest started off strong with a couple of announcements, and then fell into what I thought was a really weird, slow pacing with a lot of games that didn't interest me until we got this one, which is. Did you see the trailer for Karn? Which is they came out. They were French developer, and I think the lead designer, her father used to climb Kilimanjaro and stuff like that, and she was inspired by that to create this apparently super realistic rock climbing game that looks amazing. And it's just a single character and she's climbing, but judging by her movement, I'm assuming you've got to use lots of stuff in the controller to get them to move certain body parts. Yeah, maybe.
Or How to Mount Your Friends. Have you played that?
No, I don't think so. I've had that one. But that one looked quite good. What have we got? NO3 of the Last Song, Canyons, Unknown 9 Awakening. And these were all like just lost to me. I can't even think of some of these, like Stormforge, Fear the Spotlight. Don't know any of those. Killer Bean. Did you see the trailer for Killer Bean?
No.
Okay, we're gonna pause this one and we're gonna watch the trailer for Killer Bean, because that one is you're gonna love this.
Okay.
All right, so we just watched the Killer Bean trailer. First impressions, Chris?
It looked like a pretty fun game to like just turn your brain off of and just giggle for a bit.
If anybody listening to this hasn't seen anything to do with Killer Bean, watch the shit out of that, because it looks like it's the dumbest, funnest game. It's like Max Payne vibes.
A little bit of GTA vibes.
A little bit of GTA. Yeah. It's definitely not taking itself seriously. It doesn't look great, but I'd say it's one of those games that's a lot of fun. But that one, I mean, I was watching that, but I think that was the problem with this showcase is I saw Killer Bean and that was a highlight for me, and that shouldn't have been a highlight, you know? As good and everything as that game looks, that shouldn't have been a highlight.
That's how I feel about Astrobot and State of Play. I feel like that shouldn't have stood out as much as it did. But
so after Killer Bean, we got Slitherhead, which is a really, really fucking weird game. It looks interesting, but it kind of got a bit too wild for me towards the end. Then we got the Simulation, Sleep Awake, Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, which was a great trailer actually, because they're doing like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge game that came out in that classic retro pixel art style. It's a Power Rangers version of that, but it was a really, really good like they had the actual theme song going, and it was a really, really good trailer. Then we got, what else have we got here? Grave Seasons, Chrysler Theatre of Idols, Project C, Mechna Break, Shoot on Sight.
Mecha Break Blue. Wait, no, I thought that was part of the Xbox one.
It was on both. Mechna Break was on the games thing, and then Xbox Showcase. Okay. Yeah,
Mecha Break is probably the most exciting game out of all of them, I think.
That's the Gundam one where you're just kind of flying around.
Yeah,
at, like,
it looks more. It looks like Battle Royale Armored Core is how I'm envisioning this, and that is like. Armored Core was the last game I played that like I actually got depressed afterwards because like I was done. Yeah. And I haven't really found anything to fill quite that excitement that I've had. And all I want, like, it does have online play too, just to like get 2v2 or 1v1 competitive, but the matches are so short. But
a battle royale for something like a Gundam Armored Core game would be sweet. Two highlights for me from the Summer Games Fest was Inner Sloth, the guys who did Among Us, came out on stage and they announced that they had set up a new thing called Outer Sloth, where they're now funding, because Among Us was so successful, they're now funding new indie projects, which was really cool to see them do. And they had a class announcement thing for that. You should check it out. And then the other thing was...
who did better, Among Us or Vampire Survivors?
I would say Among Us. The timing was so good. Like COVID. All of us just playing a murder mystery game. Yeah. You know? And it's funny because all of the sound effects, like the noise every time you go back into, after you have your meeting and you go back in, like the down, that kind of, all that stuff is ingrained in my brain from playing Among Us. They had a great trailer. And then Blumhouse, who do horror movies, they did like Five Nights at Freddy's, Megan. They've announced Blumhouse Games, and they're funding indie horror games, which is quite cool. Yeah,
love it.
They had a couple. I think those a couple of ones I mentioned there, like the Chrysler Theatre of Idols and Grave Seasons, Project C. They were all part of the Blumhouse horror games selection that was on stage as well. So that was cool. So people should check that one out as well. And we ended with another trailer for Monster Hunter World, and then
Wilds.
Wilds. Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, and then it finished on Phantom Blade Zero, which looks great, but was kind of a weak ending to the show. That was their like now for one more thing, and I was like, oh, we already know this. This isn't new. The game looks great, but yeah. For me, disappointing. No Kingdom Hearts announcement, and I know Jeff Keighley had already come out and said you won't get your Kingdom Hearts announcement, but I thought maybe he was pulling my leg, but he wasn't. There was no Kingdom Hearts announcement.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, and then Chris, yesterday we had the Xbox showcase.
So, yeah,
holy shit, 10 out of 10.
Shocking.
Anything before I go into the list? Is there anything that you want to like watching that? What stuck out to you the most?
I mean, obviously Doom. Doom was up there.
Yeah.
The Gundam break or Mecha break or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was never actually a huge I like the games, but I was never a huge Gears of War fan.
Yeah.
But to see that trailer and then to like
the
how
music.
Mad World softly playing in the background. Oh my god, I almost teared up.
That trailer, so that was the end. That was the end. At the end of the Xbox showcase, they were like, and now for one more thing. People kind of felt that there was going to be Gears news. They thought it was going to be Gears 6. This looks like it's a prologue.
It's an origin. Yeah, I think it's a prologue.
Yeah,
because you see how Dom, I think it's Dom, how he gets his bandana.
Dom and your man Phoenix. What's the guys? Is there two?
I think it's
Dom and
Marcus, isn't
Marcus, yeah. The two of them were in the trailer. And they look way younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like, and that was the cool thing because it's him, I think either Dom or whichever one it is, who's getting the shit kicked out of them. And they look scared, which when I played all the Gears of War game, I think I played 2, 3 and a little bit of 4 maybe, but 2 and 3 were the ones that I played through. 1, 2 and 3 were the ones I played through. And they're not scared of anything. They just kick the shit out of all these things. They're so done. Do you know what I mean? They're all just done with it all. Whereas this is cool because it's like their first experience with these monsters and they're scared and they're kicking the shit out of them. And I was like, this looks great. And as you said, Mad World, because that was in the original trailer, wasn't it?
It was one of the best trailers of all time, I think. It was there wasn't much in it. I don't think there was any gameplay. It was just like so well constructed.
Yeah.
And that the use of they used Mad World in it, and it just, oh my god, everyone knew it. Even like non-gamers knew it.
Yeah. Gears of War. I was super excited. So the thing started off with a world premiere, which was Doom: The Dark Ages, and you said you kind of wish you hadn't seen the trailer because you wanted to be surprised by all the amazing things that you had seen in it.
Yeah. There was so much going through my head when I was watching it because it starts out like before he was the hero or whatever. I was like, oh, are we going to get like medieval Doom?
Yeah, he was like he was a superhero for gods or a super weapon for gods or whatever.
You see the shield, and I was like, oh, and then you see the shotgun. And he's like, oh, okay, he's not going to be. It's going to be Doom. Yeah. It's just going to be Doom. But then it popped, and the scene specifically that I wish, like, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the trailer, you're trying to avoid it. But this is the part that I wish I didn't know about. It's when he gets in the Doom slate, like the mech. Yeah. And he's punching the other.
Oh my god!
The fuck,
the other giant monsters. And it's like, because that's the thing. Because we're playing through the games. I don't know where you're at.
I'm still on the first one. Yeah. So Cookie clicker is got all my time.
You're just collecting them cookies, man. Yeah. So I finished Doom 64, Doom 1. And I took a break from the old ones. I'm going to come back to 2 and 3, but I'm currently playing through Doom 2016. And one of my critiques, and
Doom 2016 is fantastic.
I'm not enjoying it all.
What?
I was expecting, I don't know, and it is 2016, so it's a game that's 8 years old, so I can't be too critical. It's it's a few years old, but I was expecting a little bit more big heavy music and me taking on lots of monsters at the same time, and it feels like watching that medieval, and I don't know what Doom Eternal's like. I'm looking forward to playing that one too, but watching the Doom: The Dark Ages trailer, I was like, that's what I want from a Doom game, like big wide open spaces, and you're fucking up so many guys. Like you saw the bit where he revs up his chainsaw shield, like pulls the cord to rev up his chainsaw shield, which I think is great because like Dark Ages, but they're still using some kind of it's meant to seem like it's old technology, but and then like milling so many monsters in that one area. To me, that's kind of what I wanted from a Doom game, which I'm not really getting from 2016 yet.
That's crazy. I love the one thing I remember about 2016. It did get a bit repetitive with I want to call them fatalities.
Yeah, they're not very exciting.
They go for a second, you can do the auto kill. I was like, oh yeah, this is dope, and I kept like stringing them together. I was like, I'm killing all you motherfuckers, and then there's just like 15 kills later. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to shoot them. I want them to die already.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been nice to get away from the 2D ones. I really enjoyed Doom 1 when I played through it.
Doom 1 is fantastic.
Doom 64 was great too.
I was shocked at how well they hold up.
Right.
Well, actually, we should save this for a Doom episode. We're planning a Doom episode.
Yeah, we've still got a bit to cover. So I'm going to go through some of the other things that were announced. So we've done Gears, which is a cool ending to the showcase. We got Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Yeah, I mean the trailer looked cool,
They
but
fucked up that game way too. Wait, no, sorry. Dragon Age?
Dragon Age, the Veilguard. You know where the two? It's like the guy and the girl are fighting in the bar, and they're talking about getting a team together. I needed gameplay. I didn't get that was setting up a team is always. I mean, Mass Effect. The Metal Gear Solid games and the PSP. I love getting a team together to do the missions. Yeah. But I needed to see gameplay. That trailer was cool and all, but I don't really know what this game looks like.
I actually thought it was Dragon's Dogma, and that's why I immediately was just like, I don't give a shit. Never going to happen.
No, Dragon Age the Veilguard, so it's their next one, and which
okay. Dragon Age is meant to be a really good game too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I'm waiting to see if they what they come up with. But then we got a Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Finally, and I've wanted to get really excited about this game, and I haven't been able to because I haven't shown anything. That trailer was so good. It was essentially just the opening of the game. It looked amazing,
and I've never been a big Metal Gear. I've only played the first two, and then like the NES one, but like. Of the Metal Gear Solids, I only played the first two. Never played 3, which is supposed to be the best one. And
Snake Eater, I mean, a lot of people say 3. I always have preferred the first one, but I played a lot of Twin Snakes, which was like their kind of their anime remake of the first one on GameCube. It was a bit like the cutscenes were a bit OTT, but I loved it. And that's always been my favorite one. But Snake Eater was fantastic, and I think it's the right place to start if they are going to remake all of them. I'm assuming they're going to remake.
Because it was like Origin, right? Wasn't it like prequel?
Yeah. You're not playing as Solid Snake, you're playing as Big Boss, who's... Right. Yeah, whatever.
Clone or something.
But it looks amazing. Like there was a cool scene where he's fighting off some guards in the rain, but it's all... You can see all the rain kind of pattering off his shoulders and everything, and I said, this game's going to look... going to play and look great. Because I was so glad when they talked about a remake for Metal Gear, I was worried it might be a Blue Point job again. And don't get me wrong, Blue Point have done phenomenal work in...
but there's no innovation. All they are is polishing a classic.
Exactly. And when I played Shadow of the Colossus, I was like, this looks amazing. It still plays like a fucking really old PlayStation 2 game. And I didn't want that for Snake Eater, and hopefully it doesn't look like that's what we're getting. It looks like it might be a bit smoother. Then we got Fable.
Yep.
Looks good. Didn't really get a whole lot of gameplay again.
Yeah, not
so much. I don't know. I mean, the trailer looked great, and it looks like...
And I just, like...
Production looks amazing.
I've never been a big fan of... Like, I love the idea of Halo when it first came out.
Yeah.
The idea of, like, your choices will affect, like, what happens or what you become. Yeah. And I thought it was a great idea. I always thought it was poorly executed originally.
Fair.
And these days, I don't think it can even compete with what's it like. Look at Baldur's Gate and all the choices there. Like, you're never going to be. I
think it's got a different. Well, I hope so, because I remember playing Fable 1 or 2. I can't remember getting a lend off Kev or Luke, their Xbox, and playing it. And it's very much a Baldur's Gate is. It has a vibe, whereas I think Fable is very, very kind of fun fantasy, as opposed to, Baldur's Gate still had that bit of seriousness, and
right.
So I think it might be a little bit more of a fun thing. I thought the production of it looked amazing, but I need to see more gameplay. Like that's a lot of. I've seen a lot of CGI Fable cutscenes without a whole lot of gameplay. And I'm like, I need to see it. I saw a lot of walking around, but not much of what you can actually do.
And they keep pushing the idea of this main character on us.
Yeah.
This girl that we've never heard of. Yeah. And like the idea of Fable was you were the main character.
So I wonder,
your fantasy.
I'm wondering, is that a like a cloak and dagger? Are they going to do like a bait and switch where she's actually the enemy, that he's telling us the story of the person that I know we saw her in some cutscenes, but I'm wondering, at the end of the cutscene you came across a guy whose hand kind of glowed gold and black at the very end, and I'm wondering, is that meant to be you? Do you create this character, and this person who made all the wrong choices, as they say in the trailer, who's meant to be, she made all the wrong choices and became, I guess, bad, judging by the way the guy's telling the story. I wonder, is she the villain? Essentially, maybe.
Or maybe if you're the bad guy, she makes all the right choices. And
vice versa.
All right. Yep.
That's what I think anyway, because it's meant to. I thought Fable to me struck me something that should definitely have a character creation thing in it, and you're meant to play that. Then we got State of Decay 3.
Looked fantastic.
Yeah. So good.
I've never played any of the other State
of
Decay.
But that was because we just watched the trailer there for No More Room in Hell 2, which looked like a classic, another zombie game. But State of Decay 3, which was such a really good, really well done trailer where they're all rushing to save this member of their team and they lose someone anyway. And I was like, shit, this game is a bit dark, but it looks like it'd be a really good 4-player.
It was a great trailer.
Yeah. We didn't see anything about the game.
Yeah.
The trailer was amazing. Yeah.
We've been screwed over like that before.
Then we got updates for Fallout 76, Starfield, and Elden Ring, all the online kind of updates and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, Elden Ring was no.
Sorry, not Elden Ring. Elder
right?
Scrolls.
Yeah,
Apologies. Yeah, their 10-year anniversary, and then Fallout 76, and then we got the DLC for Starfield called Shattered Space, which if you're into Starfield, I think looks really cool. But the game never got me. Then we got the whole aftermath. I'm reading these out in no particular order, but Call of Duty Black Ops 6 had a whole direct after the Xbox showcase,
which I didn't care when I saw Call of Duty. I was like, okay, another one of these. But watching the direct kind of got me excited for it.
Yeah, me too.
Some of the things they were explaining, like the omnidirectional, dives and shit.
The movement looks like it's going to really shape up how multiplayer plays. I don't know if the community would be overly happy about that. That seems like it could be people could be doing like pretty annoying fucking things during a multiplayer game. But I mean, yeah. But to me, after what they did with Modern Warfare 3, which was a joke because it was a really short game. They just used assets from Warzone to pump out that game real quick. I'm like, oh, good. They actually created a decent game, and they needed
Treyarch,
Xbox.
I think Treyarch is always, because there's the two companies, right?
Yeah.
Treyarch and Infinity Ward.
Yeah. And this one was Treyarch and Raven.
Yeah, and I think Treyarch has always been the better games historically. They're the ones with zombies, and I think they've always, like the Black Ops line, and I think they've always been better. Yeah. I'm not sure what the community feels as a whole, but I think it's accepted that Black Ops is better.
Based
darker,
off, how's
though.
it going?
They had like this one, I think it was like Black Ops 2, where you're like, you even have a option to skip it because it's so graphic. All you do is like mow down an airport full of innocent people.
Oh
like,
shit! You're playing as is it the Russian guys?
Yeah.
It
was pretty graphic.
Yeah, I remember that. We also had, and I'm really excited about this. Even the gameplay looked great. South of Midnight. Did you see the trailer for that?
Oh,
one?
With the really janky frame rate.
Yeah,
it looks super.
Looks
cool.
amazing, and whatever world that is looks really really cool as well. And they're all like deep south. Kind of accents.
Yeah.
Again, it's that kind of almost.
No, it was more like Cajun, right? Like.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah. And it had that kind of same thing that they did with Spider-Man, where it looks like they've halved the frame rate of the movement and everything like that, which looks great.
Yeah.
That looked amazing. They showed a really good trailer as well as like it went from the actual trailer into the gameplay, and even the gameplay looked good because I think we'd seen a cutscene from that before, which was just her out on the pier talking to someone previously, but they showed no gameplay. No one knew what the game was, and that actually looks like it's quite good. Then we got Expedition 33, and
this one looked cool, but it's a turn-based, which
when I think about old Final Fantasy games, turn-based for me is like a really big thing for me, and I'd love to play like modern day versions of turn-based. But I'm really excited about this one because I'm a big fan of Ben Starr. Was the guy voicing the main character. He voices Clive in Final Fantasy 16, which for me is still one of the best voice acting done in a video game in recent years. So when he started speaking, I was like, okay, Ben Starr game, which is interesting that I'm kind of hooked on a voice actor for a game. I've never really felt like that before about any other voice actors, but I'm like, okay, yeah, I can get behind this. Cool idea. It looks like someone paints an age and all those people die unless they can, all of the people of a certain age die unless they can go out and stop the paintress, I think they call her, or something like that. Weird story, but looks like it could be quite cool.
Interesting. Okay. I remember seeing the trailer and I thought like, I liked what I was seeing story-wise, or what they were trying to sell me. I just
gameplay wise might not do it for you.
Turn-based.
What does World of Warcraft: The War Within expansion do for you?
Don't give a shit. Won't play it. I haven't played the most recent 2 expansions.
Were you a World of Warcraft?
I was a big World of Warcraft fan. Huge. Mostly I wasn't a end game raid or dedicate my life to it, but I liked playing the games, and more importantly, I liked catching up on the lore.
Yeah.
But everything's just so fucking batshit crazy for years and years that I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's gone too far. We got a Sea of Thieves update where apparently you can have a cool big ship and everyone comes in and attacks you on a map, which looks like fun if you're playing Sea of Thieves. I never played it. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, which I think was kind of the weakest. I don't really remember the actual gameplay. It was the weakest thing on the set for me. After that we got Age of Mythology Retold, which I think I'd be into that. Then we got Perfect Dark, which I wasn't expecting.
This kind of raised some flags to me, and I think it's just because Xbox has had such bad PR lately that they're just like throwing all sorts of promises that aren't going to come true. Like it was this game, because I'm pretty sure it was in development hell or it was canceled or something.
Development hell, yeah. I think that they've had lots of trouble.
Yeah.
I for a while I thought it was going to be cancelled. So it was great
and
to
now
see
they're
it.
showing all this gameplay suddenly, which I bet you it's all they have.
Yeah.
And it's going right back in development hell afterwards. They're just trying to get people stoked about Xbox again.
Yeah. I mean, if it goes on...
And they're all like coming out this year. Like everything was like 2024.
Perfect Dark had nothing. Perfect Dark had no
did it?
2024, 2025. I think that was just to show people that it still exists, which is a good thing. And if it exists in the way that it is, I'd be okay with that. But for me, the Perfect Dark game that they brought out in the Xbox 360, wherever it was, or Xbox One, back in the day, didn't do a whole lot for me because Xbox for me is like the GoldenEye multiplayer, the improved multiplayer kind of game for GoldenEye. And I want it to be something similar to that. And looking at this trailer, I don't think it's going to have a multiplayer mode. It looks like it's very much a single player narrative kind of storyline, which looks cool, kind of cyberpunk in its
I don't think
execution.
I've ever played that was weird.
That was my floor robot is gone back in the
was
chair.
that a
Apparently,
floor robot?
the
Okay.
cats seem to be attacking it at the minute.
I've never played the Perfect Dark campaign. Don't know anything about the story. I don't know anything about
the Nintendo 64 version.
No.
I
only played the multiplayer.
There was an alien in it called Elvis, who I really enjoyed.
He was in the multiplayer too, though, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
you played as a character, but he was a cool character in the actual storyline. Yeah, and then you played against the Mr. Blondes, who were essentially aliens. Storyline was quite. I mean, I wouldn't say it was like Oscar-winning worthy, but I enjoyed the storyline in Perfect Dark. It was a cool co-op. You couldn't do 4-player, but you could do 2-player in the actual campaign. But yeah, this one looks. I mean, I thought the trailer was cool. I thought the gameplay looked cool, but I don't know if the game will, as you said, will make it out of whatever development hell it's currently in. I think you're right. I think they have shown us everything that they have for it, potentially. After that, we got Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred. Again, another Blizzard trailer. They never stop.
Yeah, they do the most amazing trailers. The problem is you get something like that, you see it was dark, it was gritty, and you're talking about like, because the Vessel of Hatred, they're obviously talking about Mephisto. Mm-hmm. He's going to be the big bad of this one, and they make it so like grim and like, how are you going to overcome this? And then you get into the game, and the gameplay loop is like, okay, let's go run this dungeon 100 million times with bright colors on the screen to get equipment. Like nothing about those trailers reflect how the game,
which is such a pity,
is, and it's fucking disappointing.
Yeah, because the trailer was amazing, and like I think
a first-person Diablo, like a whole new direction for Diablo,
would be cool when it went if it went like proper narrative based and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It
and
could
like
be very
seeing
cool.
that stuff like that in first person, and like seeing their what they envision as hell, and like walking through that.
And the trailer is pretty graphic as well. Like, watch that. Don't be eating your dinner when you're watching that that trailer. After that, we got Frag Punk, which is like another like hero
Frag
shooter.
Punk
looked a lot of fun.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like a card-based,
about this one. Yeah,
card-based
turn on like big head mode for the other team.
Yeah, and like so everyone's head is bigger. So if you're sniping them, it's a much easier shot. You can turn rooms upside down, and I mean it's funny. It's like the Marvel Midnight Suns, because those were the guys who did XCOM and things like that. And I was really excited to play Midnight Suns, and I got it. But then when I realized it was heavily card-based, I was like, I don't really know about it. But it's been done well. But a hero shooter with cards was one like the card style for a strategy game. I always thought that'd be cool, or could that be cool in a shooter? And the Fragpunk trailer made it look like it could be great fun in a shooter.
Well, I forgot about that entirely, but it got me pretty excited.
Yeah,
we didn't see one of my favorite announcements.
Yeah, and very stylish, look great, really upbeat. And I'm not into hero shooters, but that could be something that I could just try. If it's free to play or something like that, it's something I could probably give a go to. Flight Simulator 2024. You super excited for Microsoft Flight Simulator, Chris?
No, but I'm glad it's out there.
Yeah.
It's one of those games I probably will never play, but I appreciate the dedication people have to Flight Simulator.
Yeah, and the graphics and everything like that of the recent ones have been amazing. That's got loads of new modes, apparently, air ambulance stuff and commercial flights and transporting VIPs. I guess they're just trying to make it a little bit more accessible.
Missions, like rescue helicopter.
Yeah. Seems like that. Like, I mean, look, I thought it looked great. We got Mixtape, which is like an Annapurna. Teenagers about to finish high school, and it's got a list of like 80s songs in it, and I think you're just kind of playing through a story of these teenagers' lives with a deadly soundtrack in the background. Is kind of the vibe they're going for. It looked great. I think it's one of those. I love Annapurna games. Annapurna games have really done the job for me when they're publishing or developing. They're always been quite interesting. So Mixtape for me looks fantastic. Again, that kind of cell shaded frame rate dropped kind of graphics on that one too, but it looks that one looks like it could be really good. Life is Strange Double Exposure. I've never played the Life is Strange games.
No, neither have
I. It looks great. I think there's definitely people of Life is Strange games. I think I could be wrong. Maybe Luke's into Life is Strange games, but again, not for me. But hey, I'm happy people have it. Then we got Winter Burrow, which is like a cozy game with you're a mouse. And again, just
yeah.
But again, it doesn't do a whole lot for me. We got Atomfall, which is kind of like an open world shooter game. We got Assassin's Creed Shadows, some gameplay of it at last from the Assassin side of things. It looks good. We got Stalker 2, the Heart of Chernobyl, which is that from that team in Ukraine.
This one looked pretty heavy. Yeah.
I mean, it looked great, and hats off to them for still being able to develop what looks like still such a fantastic game. But I was looking at that being like, I think that's a game because there seems to be a slight supernatural aspect to it, and not just a first-person shooter. That one looked great. Avowed, which I've got no interest in, doesn't do anything for me. That first-person kind of superpowers. Game.
It looked all right.
Yeah. The one though I do want to get your thoughts on is did you watch the Indiana Jones The Great Circle trailer in that showcase?
Yeah, they seem like they're pushing it a lot, but
it doesn't look that impressive.
Yeah, and also like everyone's all like stoked about, oh yeah, an indie game. Like we're finally making an indie game. I was like, you did it years ago with Uncharted.
Yeah,
like that's
Indiana
just
Jones.
Young Indiana Jones. That's exactly what you're trying to do with this one. So.
And it was weird. The trailer went on for quite a long time, but we got so much trailers and so little gameplay. I was watching the trailer being like, oh, this is kind of like a fun, but almost like the graphics were good, but the movement felt PS3 era, kind of like very slow movement even in the trailer. I was like, oh, okay. But I haven't seen any gameplay. And the gameplay started, and that looked even slower then. And I kind of thought, man, the story in that game better be fucking amazing.
No, you know what better be amazing? It all comes down to the whip mechanics.
Yeah.
They can nail that and make a truly unique experience with like grappling someone or like a weapon out of their hand or like hook, also using it to like hook shots and like pull yourself somewhere. Then I think they could have a hit. Yeah,
because I mean the areas
or puzzles.
If it's good, yeah. Because I mean the first person shooter side of that would probably help. The first person kind of the puzzle game might help maybe.
If I play a first person shooter, I want to play some multiplayer. I'd play that Frag Punk game or something, right? Like they got to focus on something else for this Indiana Jones game.
And I think, is that kind of, let me just see the list here. Did I miss anything? So I talked about Assassin's Creed, Atomfall, Avowed. I think that's it. I think that covered everything.
They announced the 3 new consoles. Which,
yeah.
I think we've known about that for a while.
Yeah, I think they were always going to kind of update their lineup. I thought it would have been pros, but it doesn't look like it's pros. They've just gone for digital versions because the PlayStation 5 has announced it's pro or whatever.
And everything was also like day one Game Pass.
Oh man, that's another so when me and Luke were on the episode and we were kind of kicking the shit out of Xbox and Microsoft for closing those studios, doing what they did, we were kind of saying, and I'd love to get your opinion on this, Games Pass, is that like, can that work? Because I don't know how it works. Financially, honestly, I don't know how it works.
It has to work. It is the future of gaming because the problem right now is VPNs are just too popular and too cheap and like too widely used that all companies across the board have pretty much given up on regional pricing. So that means like things haven't changed for us when we're paying our €60 for a brand new game. But now other countries are paying the equivalent of that. So instead of paying what would be a €60 to them and like a fraction of their monthly wages, now they're paying our currency and it is half a month of their wages.
Fucking hell, yeah.
So regional price, like they can't buy games anymore. So Game Pass is going to allow them to keep playing new games without, bankrupting themselves.
I just worry about the studios, because I mean, like if you talk about every
AAA is going to die. You just got to stop spending that
much money making a video game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's indie games are going to thrive right now, which I think I've been saying it for years. I've always thought for the past few years at least, indie games are better. They're just trying harder instead of cranking out graphically impressive games, but that fall short in gameplay and
always release. But like, it's the problem that I have with games now is the release and they're not finished or they're broken or they're buggy. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's too much.
an indie game company. Obviously, a lot less overhead, but way more stake in it because a lot of they've been trying to make this game for years and they need to get paid. Like, this is their hope.
Yeah.
And they also don't have fucking stakeholders in the company to impress.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably the biggest issue with AAA. Like,
but I mean, it comes down to
forget about those people. Like, they shouldn't be able to have any control over what's happening in the game.
But Cyberpunk being the case in point where we reckon there was like, no, you push the button, release that game. We're done, kind of waiting on you.
And I think that's why Microsoft also laid off so many companies. Like, someone higher up probably still got a raise because of all those closures.
It sucks to hear it. But what I have to say on the other side of that, Xbox was kind of finally able to show, because my whole thing about it was, okay, you've spent billions on Activision, you bought Bethesda for millions. What have you got to show for it? And this showcase was kind of like, well, here's what we have to show for it. And it was very fucking impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
State of Play, to me, gets a 6 out of 10. Summer Games Fest, again, 6 out of 10. Maybe even a 5 out of 10 for Summer Games Fest because it was long. But
I would say State of Play worse than Summer Games Fest.
I think the fact that I got Dynasty Warriors, Astrobot, and Monster Hunter from a personal perspective. I mean, I think the production value of that State of Play was awful. Like there was no pacing to that State of Play. Production wise, it was very like, here's a game, and nothing was thrilling. Summer Games Fest had a bit more going on, but that Xbox showcase.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I've never. Yeah. I can't believe how well they've come together, and I'm kind of annoyed a little bit in that sense, is that I still want to kick them. I still want to kick them while they're down a little bit. But after all that showcase, I'm like, fuck, man, they've maybe brought it together.
Did well. Yeah, they pulled out all the stops for this one.
And to finish it with the way they did, I think, because they came out once or twice. I think Phil Spencer came out, and I can't think of the other. Matt Booty, and then the CEO, Sarah, whatever her name is. All three of them came out to have to say a little piece, and it wasn't like too much. It wasn't in your face. They weren't like breaking down a game so much that you're like, oh, get on with the next thing. But for Sarah to come out and like finish up the whole thing, and here's our Xbox, here's what's coming down the line, and this is what we want for Xbox. And by the way, one more thing, and to get a Gears of War at the end, which like reminds me of when Xbox for me was almost better than PlayStation. Like the Gears of War, new Gears of War being released was Xbox 360 days.
To you guys do your favorite console episode, and I was shocked that like you guys spoke so highly of the 360.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize you guys were ever Xbox fans.
So I never owned an Xbox, but 360 was the only Xbox or Microsoft console that made me regret my Sony purchase.
Oh, really? Okay.
So me and my brothers had a PlayStation 3, but I'd go over and hang out with Kev or Luke or my mate Steven at the time, and they had the Xbox 360s with the Gears of Wars and the Halo, and the online game was really, really good. And I was like, fuck, I've made a mistake. Like I should have. And
good console, yeah.
Yeah, and this showcases made me kind of feel like it felt a little bit like Xbox of old. Like
they need to maybe not drop the Series S, but stop allowing the Series S to hold back the X so much, though. That something has to be done about that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because the fact that the Baldur's Gate, whatever else, like that's going to keep happening as time goes on. That some games just won't be able to be played on the S, so they're not going to just release a fucking a shitty version. But that's those three things. Chris, thanks a million for popping up and talking to me about the showcases.
No problem.
Lots of good games. We need to finish our Doom games so we can all play the Dark Ages in time when it comes out. Like.
Yeah, shit. I'll crank through them.
I know you're a bit of a secret finder, collectathon guy when it comes to Doom, but if you're going for hell for leather for the story, those Doom games can be finished pretty quickly, like, you know.
Yeah, and the secrets take so fucking long. So I do have to like just stop doing that.
Play it the way you want, you know. There's nothing to say you have to finish everything
anymore. When I'm walking around the same level for 40 minutes clicking on every wall. Where is this secret door?
What I did enjoy was when you came out and said, "Oh, I spent, No, Luke came out and he said, "Oh, I finished the first Doom game in like 40 minutes," and you're like, "I think I spent 40 minutes on the first level trying to find all the secrets." I was like, "Oh, Chris has got a long road ahead of him. This is how he's going to play the games." To our listeners, don't worry, there will be post shows galore happening for our patrons. We've got some post shows to catch up on, and we will do. There won't be any post show after today's episode, it being a longer episode reviewing the showcases, but they will be backfilled. Don't you worry. And if you're looking for extra content, anybody out there who's not a patron, you can check out our patreon.com/thegifted gaming, where there's loads of extra shit there you can listen to. End of 2024 and 2025 looks like a good year for games, Chris, and I'm looking forward to a 2025 chock-a-block schedule to fill this podcast, because I don't want to run out of ideas, and I'm glad people are still making games. So Chris, thanks so much for sticking on, and to our listeners, as always and forever, keep enjoying the gift that is gaming. Peace out.